Kia ora koutou, welcome to this special chapel video. Over the past weeks we've been talking about kindness in our prep school chapel services, and so today I've got some videos with some experts about kindness. They're going to share their thoughts with you now.
Why is kindness important? I think it's important in understanding people and, being a community, I guess.
Kindness is important to me because I think it's something that we make an active choice to do, and I think that in times where things are not always kind in our societies at the moment, I think one thing that we can always do is make a choice to look out for somebody else, to be kind, and I think to show aroha and love.
Kindness is important because you never really know what someone's going through in their personal life. So being able to be kind and lend everyone a helping hand when they need it, whether it be your friend or anyone else, you don't know what they're going through, and they may be experiencing something really hard at the moment, and by you helping them out, you've just made their day or you've made their week. The other week we had Prep School Athletics Day, and it was super awesome to see all of the prep school students cheering each other on, and they weren't being super competitive, and instead they were encouraging each and every one of their peers to do the best that they could, and they were helping each other around the different courses and sticking with one another, and it was super cool to see just everyone being encouraging and kind.
I could go from my brother maybe helping me with my future as kindness. Like when I was in year 11, I was kind of having trouble about what I wanted to do, what subjects I wanted to study, whether I should pick IB or NCA. And he was like, you know what, I'll take some time, how about we just go through these things and we can find out what you want to do. And that was pretty good. I really appreciated it.
A number of years ago I was living in London, or just outside London, and on Christmas a few of us volunteered in inner city London to help people that didn't have somewhere to stay or family to look after them at Christmas, and we volunteered at a mission where people could come to and they could have something to eat. They could get things like a haircut if they hadn't managed to have one of those in a long time. They could read a paper. They could do some arts and crafts if they wanted to, because for lots of people that didn't have family or didn't have a place to be, Christmas can be quite a lonely time sometimes. So we went along to help out on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day, and part of what we saw was people just wanting somebody to talk to, and although we didn't know these people, we'd never met them before, we spent the day meeting them, talking to them, asking them questions about their lives. They were asking questions about our lives, and it gave them some companionship and some friendship, and I suppose in a way some love at a time of the year where sometimes for some people that's hard to come by. For people that were homeless and didn't have anywhere to be, we provided a bit of love and care and kindness towards them.
When I was in Japan on Gakuin exchange, which all of you should do when you're in year 10, it's really great, even though there's limits. But when I was staying with my homestay family, they showed me so much kindness. They were so hospitable. I think when I was in, this stands out to me, when I was buying CDs in Japan, I was like, oh yeah, could you buy this for me? Wait, could you go up to the counter? I handed them the money and just could you help me buy this? And they were just oh yeah, sure. And they went to the counter, they bought it, and then they handed me my note back, and it's just oh no, oh, you don't have to buy this. They use their own money to buy it, and then they just hand my note back to me. I was like, no, please keep the money. Kindness is something that I think you should accept and give back instead of just refusing and just feeling off about it. Yeah.
Wonderful to hear about why kindness is so important and where we see it in our everyday lives. It's a really human thing to be kind to one another, a really important human activity. To help us focus on chapel, Nathan's got a Bible reading for us, and this reading is about God's kindness and how big that is.
This reading is from Psalm 36 verses 5 to 9. Lord, your faithful love reaches to the sky. Your faithfulness is as high as the clouds. Your goodness is higher than the highest mountains. Your fairness is deeper than the deepest ocean. Lord, you protect people and animals. Nothing is more precious than your loving kindness. All people can find protection close to you. They get strength from all the good things in your house. You let them drink from your wonderful river. The fountain of love flows from you. Your light lets us see light.
So what's the biggest thing you can think of? Is it the sky? The solar system? The whole universe? These things are enormous, and it makes sense that the person who wrote what Nathan shared with us used them as a metaphor for God's love. They're so big that we can never be away from them. We're always under the sky, we're always in the universe, and we're always in God's love and in God's kindness towards us. There's some senior students from Mackenzie House who are going to share with us another Bible story, but they've done it as a drama. And in this drama it talks about how God's love is always with us and so strong towards us that we can never get away from it no matter what we've done. God's always there to welcome us and be kind to us. So let's watch this skit now.
A man had 2 sons and a large estate with many servants. The younger son wanted to have his inheritance early while his father was still alive.
Father, give me a share of the property that will belong to me.
As you wish, my son. Are you serious?
So the father divided the property between them, and the younger son gathered all he had and travelled to a distant country. In the distant country, the younger son squandered his property and spent everything his father had given to him. After he had spent everything, he hired himself out to a farmer.
Hello, Dad.
Do you have any work for me?
Yes, I need someone to go out into my fields and tend to my pigs.
Oink, oink.
You must feed them, but you must not eat any of their food.
Yes, ma'am. Oink.
The younger son fed the pigs, but realized how much his life had changed. He would have gladly filled himself with the food he fed to the pigs.
How many of my father's hired hands had food to spare, but here I am, starving? I shall return home and tell my father, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.
So the younger son left the farm and headed home to his father. While the younger son was still far off, the father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. He ran out and put his arms around his son.
Son, you have returned!
Father, I am no longer worthy to be called your son. I have sinned against heaven and against you.
Quickly, servants! Get my finest robe and put it on his back. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet.
Alas.
For my son was lost, and now he is found.
Then they began to celebrate his return. Now the older son was in the field at work. As he approached the house, he heard the music and dancing. He called out to one of his father's servants.
You there! What is going on?
Your brother has returned, and your father is throwing him a celebration. He once was lost, but is now found.
The older son became very angry and refused to go into the celebration. The father came out to greet him.
Son, your brother has returned. He was lost, and now he is found. Come, join in the feast. For all these years, I've been working like a slave for you, and I've never disobeyed you. And you haven't even given me a young goat so that me and my friends can celebrate. But then this son of yours comes, after you've spent all your property, and you killed a fattened calf. Son, you were always with me, and was mine as yours. But your brother, he's returned. He was lost, and now he's found. He was dead, and now he's alive.
I trust that this chapel video has been a blessing for you. A reminder that kindness is not something that we just have to work hard and do ourselves, but it's also something that we can receive from God. God's always offering his kindness to us. And so that's why in our blessing each week we talk about the love of God. So let's all join in this through the video camera in this blessing together. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, te atawhai o tō tātou āriki a ihu karaiti, me te aroha o te atoa, me te whiwhinga tahitanga ki te wairua tapu, he runga i a tātou katoa, ake, 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 āmine.